Hi everyone, welcome back to the garden. So do you remember these coleus containers, these hay racks that I have on my front porch that I showed you in the summer garden tour? Well, it's only been about a month and they're looking pretty bad right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and clean these up a little bit. I'm not sure how well they're going to clean up, honestly. This is one of the reasons I don't do a lot of work with annuals, because they seem to do pretty well for a couple months and then they need some maintenance, and I just generally don't like doing that. Sometimes they need to be completely replaced, and so I'm going to try and limp these along through the rest of the frost. I may have to do something else this month in September to make them look a little better and replace the plants. But anyway, for the past 3 years, I put Supertunias in these containers. The first year I did Supertunias, they did wonderfully. I had no issues at all. They lasted all the way through the first freeze. The past 2 years, the Supertunias got whitefly, and so I stopped using those because about this time of year, if not a few weeks ago, they would have started looking really, really bad and would have had to been treated. And I don't really like to spray stuff, especially on stuff that attracts a huge number of pollinators. So I just didn't plant Supertunias this year in these baskets. So I went with the coleus. They've done really well and looked really great, but they're actually getting really long here. The chocolate drop is really, really long and needs some work. And so I have not fertilized this container at all this year. I did put some Osmocote in there in spring, and it has done pretty well, I guess. Not a single dose of soluble fertilizer have I put in this container. Now I might add some additional Osmocote today to kind of limp it through fall, because I'm going to be doing most likely a pretty harsh cutback on some of these things, so I need it to reflush, and I may actually put a little bit of soluble fertilizer on it. But I'm just going to go through and try and clean up what I can, and you can watch along and we'll see what it looks like at the end. So as you can see, that was really minor. And does it look any better? Maybe not, actually. But it's trimmed down a little bit, so that'll limp me alone for a couple more weeks, at least until we get a little more into a fall filling season. It's still pretty warm here right now, so I don't want to go transitioning anything. And maybe it'll fill back up. You cut these coleus, they'll sprout from those nodes and get a little thicker. They are leaning in a little bit because this is a part sun location, so they don't get as much light as some of these things might like over this long of a period, so they've started leaning some. But I think it still looks much better. I felt kind of like a hairstylist cutting this coleus down here. I got it off the boxwood, so we don't have any of those issues with it just preventing light from getting to the boxwood. I am going to hit it with some slow release or some quick water soluble fertilizer. And we'll see how these bounce back. Like I said, they may still look really bad in a few weeks, and we'll take them out and I might replace them with something else. This would be really the first season that I'll have had to have done this to these hay racks if we go that route. But annuals are an experiment. I'm new to them. I was really excited about this container. It was doing really good. It's just the end of the season. Some of these things look a little rough, so we have to perk them up a little bit. What I intend to do, and why I didn't cut these down anymore, is I want to take some cuttings from some of these before they're removed and root them in some water and see if I can overwinter some in my basement for next year as a little cost-saving mechanism. So all of this that I just cut off, since most of it is coleus, you can pretty much stick it in a jar of water and root it to pot up in your garden just in a matter of weeks. I don't really have any other containers that need coleus in them right now, and I don't really have the time to deal with that. So for now, we're just going to dispose of those and take some cuttings in a few weeks. Thank you guys for joining me, and remember, in a world full of hate, be a light. Take care, everyone. Bye.